morning folks, and welcome to another helping of Mr H's Hot Pot. You join me today out and about in the fields around Standish Lower Ground, stroke Shevington area of Wigan. Now, I've done videos from this area in the past. Some of you with long memories will remember that I documented the mines and the industrial heritage of this area that I'm now studying. For those of you who've not already seen those videos, or if you'd like to watch them again, I'll put some links at the end of this video. But stick around, because today we're going to go for a bit of a bimble just around this area. We're going to take a walk in a moment to Elnup Wood, which is in that direction. And we're just going to have a lazy walk by the stream, because there's a little curiosity in those woods that I'd like to document and just show you and get your thoughts on. Now, before we do that, I'd just like to thank everybody who commented and passed on the well wishes to me and Mrs H regarding the impending birth of our little son or daughter. He or she is due tomorrow apparently, but only 5% of babies are actually born on the due date, so there's a good chance, or a 95% chance, that ours is going to be late, because he or she still isn't here, Hot Potters. Mrs H was very sad because she predicted the 28th of November and it came and went and no baby, so it's going to be late. So I'm still on for my prediction, and some of you out there are probably still on for yours. Now, if I haven't already answered you in the last video, I do apologise. I will try and get round to you, but as you can understand, I'm busy. Today I've just sort of squoze this little bimble in and just keeping the old legs going and the wheels turning on the old jalopy, because I may be called upon at any moment in time. The phone may go, Mr H, you need to get up there to the hospital. So without further ado, enough rabbiting, let's make our way into the woods and let's find the stream, shall we, and make our way towards that curiosity. Right folks, well as you can see, we've made it into Elnup Wood. Behind me is the stream, or the river, that we'll be walking alongside. You can probably hear it there in the background. Now, Elnup Wood, for those of you who don't know, is in Shevington, which is just outside of Wigan. And speaking of Shevington, I'd just like to say hello to one of my subscribers who I met the other day, a long-standing subscriber, a fellow by the name of Mick Byrne. Hello to you, sir. It was nice meeting you, even though you rather cheekily said I couldn't park in Shevington because I don't have a TV licence. But like I said, it was nice meeting you. I believe you'll be spending Christmas over in New Zealand, you lucky get, leaving the rest of us here in a cold, wet and rainy England. But you never know, we might have a white Christmas and you might not, so we'll have to see who gets the better deal on that one. I know where I'd rather be anyway, especially this year with our little one, because it'll be with us. Right, enough rabbiting. Let's make our way down there, down the ravine, via those steps. I don't know if you can just see those. And we'll take a leisurely riverside walk. The light now is starting to fade, basically because there's trees and it's the time of year. Not much we can do about that. Apologies for any wind as well that gets caught on camera. Wind that doesn't come out of my mouth, that is. No, it shouldn't be, like I said, very far up this river, what we've come to have a look at. And it'll make you wonder when you have a look at it, just how it's got here, because, as I said, we're now in a rather deep ravine. Just watching my foot in here. Yeah, just quickly going back to subscribers and that. Anybody out there, if you're out and about on your travels and you see me, don't be afraid of coming over and introducing yourself like Mick did. Because I do always enjoy meeting people who watch these videos. You know, you don't have to come over and treat me like a film star or anything like that. Don't expect that, but it's always nice when people just come over and say hello. You know, I don't bite, honest. Now, as you could probably see from that little sign there, regarding Elnup Wood, it's maintained by the Groundwork Trust, or it was. Whether it still is or not, I don't know. And they've done a fantastic job here, putting all these little paths in and things like that. You know, I should imagine they maintain this here, this little waterway feature, which unfortunately isn't running as good as it could do. I think really we're still sort of trying to get our water back, aren't we, from that hot summer as we had. Take a while for the old reservoirs and things like that to fill up again. But they will do. They will do. It gave us a nice chance to have a look at some of the things that are under the reservoir. You know, I visited the Lake District up there in Old Cumbria and we took a look at that reservoir, didn't we? If you haven't seen that video, I'll stick a link up to it now for you. Right, I'm just going to negotiate down here. As I said, it's rather slippy. Because we've had a bit of rain for the past couple of days, which has helped to top up all these rivers and that. Yeah, I've not got the girls with me today. They're at home asleep. I didn't want to bring them here because it's all mucky. I know. But we will be going out and about and doing more of these little bimbles. I can't venture very far away from home at present, but I've got to have the phone on me, topped up and ready just in case I get the call, you know, the balloon goes up type of thing. So who knows, by the time you're watching this video, I might be a parent, you know, in my own right then. I know technically I suppose I'm a parent because baby's in Mrs H's tummy type of thing, but I'll definitely be a parent then, won't I? Many thanks to everyone out there who said I'd make a good dad as well. I just hope I live up to your expectations, especially Mrs H's. I'm sure I will, sure I will. Yeah, it's lovely today after the bad weather that we've had. Well, that's a nice peaceful little spot, this. I'm sure Bri out there, he'll appreciate that. You know, like myself, you like going out in nature, don't you? Making little videos and just having a chat. I've taken your advice, by the way, Bri, and I've taken the sad decision of disabling the thumbs up and down. I've simply just had enough of the idiots who abuse it. There's only a small minority who do that, but sadly there has been people out there abusing that facility, so I've removed it because, like I said, making my way forward now and becoming a parent, I just can't be bothered with trivial little things. So what we'll do, we'll let the one or two idiots who have been abusing that facility just sit in a little corner on their own, playing amongst themselves, doing that kind of thing. And we all know what we call people who play with themselves, don't we? Right then, uphill and down dale at this little area here, so I'll shut off the camera now, and when we get closer to this little curo that we're going to have a look at, I'll join you again. So, Potters, welcome back. You join me just as I'm crossing the river here. Just lift the camera up. And you see I'm just having to wade through. Luckily, I've got my wellies on. And we're now right at the side of this curiosity. So I'll flip the camera around and we'll take a look at it, shall we? And here it is, Hot Potters. This is what we've come to have a look at, this strange, curious stone, which looks a bit like a gravestone. And as you can see, it's just at the side of the river here, at the bottom of this ravine. Anyway, up there, and those houses up there give you some idea of the depth of where we now stood. So the big question is, how's this got down here? Now allegedly, two blokes pulled it out of the river, so it was actually in there. It's obviously a big chunk of stone, and there'd be some weight to it, so it's not like it's just toddled down here and floated on the river there. What may have happened is it was probably further up there, you know, and it's collapsed and slowly, with the ground subsiding, made its way here. Now, the letters on it are TDH 1806. Well, like I said, what is it? So this brings us to the question of, what is this stone? You know, we can theorise about how it got here, but what was it actually for? Now, some people try and claim that it was for one of the pit ponies, one of the favourite pit ponies that would have worked in one of the nearby mines. I don't personally believe that, because pit ponies back in the day were treated no better than we would treat mechanical machinery nowadays. If it doesn't work, we scrap it, and that's what happened to pit ponies back in the day, sadly. Probably apart from the people who used to feed them and stable them, the companies, they'd have no loyalty to the pit pony. You know, it would just be treated as another possession. And sadly, once a pit pony became too lame or too old to carry out its work, that was it, you know, to be sent to Knacker's yard. And they would use the carcass for glue or something like that. So the company would have tried to have made a little bit back on the carcass of the horse, so they wouldn't give it to Christian burial. So I don't think it's for that. But I do think, however, that it is colliery related, and I think what this stone would have been for at one time is to mark the boundary of the colliery's property. And the idea of that would be to solve any disputes at a later date that the colliery had encroached onto someone else's land and been mining and removing coal illegally. So that's what I think it's for. I think back in 1806, whatever TDH stood for, I don't know whether it was a person or whether it was a colliery name. We do know that there was a tailor pit in this area. I think that's what it was for. So I'll whip the camera back round, we'll take one last look at it and then we'll make our way out of these woods, because as you can see, it's slowly getting dark now, and I don't fancy being stuck in some woods in the dark. So folks, that's my theory on why this stone was placed here in this charming and peaceful little woods here on the outskirts of Shevington in Wigan. Now as you can see though, the bottom half of the stone, or the bottom 2 feet of the stone should I say, is thicker than the top part. And the reason for that is that at one time that would have been stood upright and would have been buried beneath the ground, and it would have helped balance it out. So that lines in nicely with my theory that it's a boundary marker of some form or other. But if anybody else has another theory, then please let me know in the comments section below, as I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on this little curiosity. Right then, we'll whip the camera around now and I'll wrap this video up. Right folks, well that brings us to the end of yet another helping of Mr H's Hot Pot. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's little bimble and taken a look at that little curiosity back there. If any of you out there do have any ideas of what it may be other than a boundary stone marker of some description, or indeed a gravestone for a pit pony, please let me know in the comments below. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. I'm going to head off now, get back in the old jalopy and head off home to edit this video, ready for your edification as always. Hopefully the next time that we speak, I'll be a father and I'll be telling you whether it's a little boy or a little girl. But until the next time, whenever that may be, it is bye-bye for now.